Hi, my name is Ron, and I'm making this just to help those individuals who want to change out that rear gear set on the 2018 Rad City. The 2019 models come with an 1134 gear set, and the 2018 models is a 1434. And it just was very frustrating not to have any pedal authority once you hit the maximum speed of the bike. So we purchased this gear sets from a gentleman by the name of Jay Lee out of Taiwan, thanks to the information provided by a couple of members of the Rad Power Bikes Owners Group Facebook group. And two sets with shipping was $67, and the gentleman was very quick at getting them out. And my wife just loves riding her 2018 Rad City now with this new gear set. So let's get going. And just pull this connector apart. You want it to look like that. Now it's free. And the next thing we're going to do is go down here and we're going to remove this retainer bolt right here. And then we're going to loosen this puppy up and move to the other side. But the first thing you'll do is remove the axle nut here on the side of the bike. When you get that off in the washer, you'll see this cage. Remove this cage right here. And then what you'll do is there's two screws that hold this safety link. One right there and the other one right there. You'll use an Allen wrench and remove those two screws. Alright, when you get the wheel off the bike, make sure you get it in a position where you can work on it. This is what you're going to see. And you'll notice you got three pieces here that are holding that freewheel on. You're going to take off this spacer here. There's a washer right here you're going to take off. And then you'll see a nut. And when you look at it, you'll notice that the space around that nut is impossible to get a socket on. So what I did is you use a caping chisel or some kind of a chisel that you can get in there, and you'll catch the shoulder of that and you'll tap it off. There you go. They didn't tighten it. I think it acts just as a spacer, so it comes off real easy. Then you're going to want to use your freewheel removal tool. This is the one from Rad, but on this particular bike, the City, you don't need the split one. So this was bought for the Rover. So you'll want to insert that in there, like that, and then you'll use a socket and holding your tire, there, it broke loose. Easy pleasy. Yeah. And take it off. Okay. Now you'll notice that the old freewheel and the new freewheel have slightly different heights on them. And what the factory does, Rad, is to use a spacer to space it up. So we're going to, come on over here a second. There's those two spacers. We're going to actually remove one of those spacers and leave one in place. Okay, now with just one spacer on there, slide this on. Hopefully we can get it started here. There we go. And by using your freewheel tool, Put it on there and then tighten it up. Okay, once the freewheel is on there, put your tool on there to tighten it up. And even though it looks like the freewheel's turning, it's actually tightening. And I don't know the torque specification on that, but it tightens as you pedal, so I don't think it's going to be a problem if you don't want to over tighten it. All right. Take it off. Then we come back and we use that same nut that we had removed from the original one. Okay, and then we're going to use our chisel here just to make it a little bit more secure. Just you're not really tightening it much. Careful you don't hit your threads on your axle. Okay. Then we put the washer that we took off and we put the spacer back on. Now we're ready to put it back on the bike. A point that really belongs at the beginning of this video, but I'm going to recap here, is the 4 attachment points. There are actually 5. You've got the cable here we talked about that you're unplugging. You've got the axle nut over here you'll take off, and over here you got the axle nut, and then there's also the 2 screws, this little screw here and this little screw here, that attaches the safety link here. Those are the 4 that you'll take off. Okay. Now we'll put the cage on that protects the whole mechanism. Tighten that up. And come back in. Tighten your axle nuts. Go to the other side and do it. Make sure your cage doesn't bind with your cage. And that should do it. Now we'll give it a test. Okay, for this we'll run it through the gears and see how it shifts now. Well, let's see, this is a 2-person operation.
we go in our highest gear, and let's go back down. There we go. Just like new.